Good. Now my camcorder like to start. I like to read more on Wikipedia. I have many hundred PDF I like to read. So I don't know if you should read about Intel or cholera. History of cholera. Should maybe do that. But my camcorder not like to start. But I think we should read about Intel. Maybe read about Intel. Because I just download that fresh copy. Okay, now I have some problems. Intel, I just download a fresh copy of Intel today. So let's read, and this 55 pages, that's a long one. So this is videos called looking at PC gamer hardware. That was my plan, to use this video to look at PC gamer hardware computer processors. But I have started a new video and do that in English because I have messed this video up. I'm just reading on Wikipedia. Not only about computer. In the start it was computer processors. Then I start to read about cars and aircraft and desert and Japan and all kind of history. So I like to read more about computer processors. But let's read Intel again. We have the Intel 14th generation, Intel Core 14th generation is out. But only the K and the F versions. I have an English video ready. Just made a long English video. I was talking about this game Cyberpunk. But now it's November. It's November month and I just turned age 54. So now that's a long time ago. I've been reading many of this about this computer processor. I have to read it again in this winter. But I like to read this, like history of cholera pandemic. I find this King Cobra Snake, Switzerland. I like to read all kind of this PDF, not only about computer processors. But let's read Intel again. But that's the two main. We got Intel and AMD. That's the one making and Intel are just going to investing $100 billion. $100 billion to new chip factories. So they may be writing about this. But now the auto reading should read again, works again.
Intel. Coordinates 37°2316 N121°5749W Intel Corporation logo in use since 2020 Intel's headquarters in Santa Clara, California in 2023 Trade name Intel formerly NM Electronics, 1968 Type public traded as NASDAQ, INTC NASDAQ 100 component DJIA component S&P 100 component S&P 500 component Industry semiconductors Computer hardware Autonomous cars Automation Artificial intelligence Founded July 18, 1968 Founders Gordon Moore Robert Noyce Arthur Rock Intel Corporation, commonly known as Intel, is an American multinational corporation and technology company headquartered in Santa Clara, California. It is one of the world's largest semiconductor chip manufacturer by Avenue 3, 4, and is one of the developers of the x86 series of instruction sets found in most personal computers, PCs. Incorporated in Delaware, 5. Intel ranked number 45 in the 2020 Fortune 500 list of the largest United States corporations by total revenue for nearly a decade, from 2007 to 2016 fiscal years. 6. Intel supplies microprocessors for computer system manufacturers such as Acer, Lenovo, HP, and Dell. Intel also manufactures motherboard chipsets, network interface controllers and integrated circuits, flash memory, graphic chips, embedded processors and other devices related to communications and computing. Intel Integrated Electronics was founded on the 18th of July 1968 by semiconductor pioneers Gordon Moore, of Moore's Law, Robert Noyce, 1927-1990, Arthur Rock, venture capitalist, and is associated with the executive leadership and vision of Andrew Grove. 7. Intel was a key component of the rise of Silicon Valley as a high-tech center. Noyce was a key inventor of the integrated circuit, microchip. 8. 9. Intel was an early developer of SRAM and DRAM memory chips, which represented the majority of its business until 1981. Although Intel created the world's first commercial microprocessor chip in 1971, it was not until the success of the personal computer, PC, that this became its primary business. During the 1990s, Intel invested heavily in new microprocessor designs, fostering the rapid growth of the computer industry. During this period, Intel became the dominant supplier of peak microprocessors and was known for aggressive and anti-competitive tactics in defense of its market position, particularly against AMD, as well as a struggle with Microsoft for control over the direction of the PC industry. 10. 11. The Open Source Technology Center at Intel hosts PowerTop and Latency TOP, and supports other open source projects such as Wayland, Mesa, Threading Building Blocks, TBB, and Zen. 12. Headquarters Santa Clara, California. U.S. 37°2316 N121°5749W Area served worldwide. Key people Frank D. Yeary, Chairman. Pat Gelsinger, CEO. Products Central Processing Units. Microprocessors. Integrated Graphics Processing Units, IGPU. Graphics Processing Units. Systems on Chip, SoCs. Motherboard chipsets. Network interface controllers. Modems. Solid-state drives. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chipsets. Flash memory. Vehicle automation sensors. Revenue decrease. $63.05 billion, 2022. Operating income decrease. $2.33 billion, 2022. Net income decrease. $8.02 billion, 2022, total assets increase. $182.1 billion, 2022, total equity increase. $103.3 billion, 2022, number of employees 131,900, 2022, subsidiaries Mobile, 94.2%. Intel Ireland. Website u.intel.com /references. 1, 2. Current operations. Operating segments. Client Computing Group 51.8% of 2020 revenues produces PC processors and related components. 13, 14. Data Center Group 33.7% of 2020 revenues produces hardware components used in server network and storage platforms. 13. Internet of Things Group 5.2% of 2020 revenues offers platforms designed for retail, transportation, industrial, buildings and home use. 13. Programmable Solutions Group 2.4% of 2020 revenues manufactures programmable semiconductors, primarily FPGAs. 13. Customers. In 2020, Dell accounted for about 17% of Intel's total revenues, Lenovo accounted for 12% of total revenues, and HP Incorporated accounted for 10% of total revenues. 1. As of August 2021, the U.S. Department of Defense is another large customer for Intel. 15, 16, 17, 18, market share. According to IDC, while Intel enjoyed the biggest market share in both the overall worldwide PC microprocessor market, 73.3%, and the mobile PC microprocessor, 80.4%, in the second quarter of 2011, the numbers decreased by 1.5% and 1.9% compared to the first quarter of 2011. 19, 20. Intel's market share decreased significantly in the enthusiast market as of 2019-21, and they have faced delays for their 10nm products. According to former Intel CEO Bob Swan, the delay was caused by the company's overly aggressive strategy for moving to its next node. 22. Historical market share. In the 1980s, Intel was among the world's top 10 sellers of semiconductors, 10th in 1987. Along with Microsoft Windows, it was part of the Intel personal computer domination in the 1990s and early 2000s. In 1992, Intel became the biggest chip maker by revenue and held the position until 2018 when Samsung surpassed it. But Intel returned to its former position the year after. 23, 24. Other major semiconductor companies include TSMC, Global Foundries, Samsung, Texas Instruments, Toshiba, ST Microelectronics, United Microelectronics Corporation, UMC, Micron, SK Hynix, Kioxia, and SMIC. Major competitors. Intel's competitors in PC chipsets included AMD, VIA Technologies, Silicon Integrated Systems, and NVIDIA. Intel's competitors in networking include NXP Semiconductors, Infineon Broadcom Limited, Marvell Technology Group and Applied Micro Circuits Corporation, and competitors in flash memory included Spansion, Samsung Electronics, Chimunda, Kioxia, ST Microelectronics, Micron, and SK Hynix. The only major competitor in the x86 processor market is AMD, with which Intel has had full cross-licensing agreements since 1976. Each partner can use the other's patented technological innovations without charge. After a certain time. 25, however, The cross-licensing agreement is cancelled in the event of an AMD bankruptcy or takeover. 26. Some smaller competitors, such as VIA Technologies, produce low-power x86 processors for small factor computers and portable equipment. However, the advent of such mobile computing devices, in particular smartphones, has in recent years led to a decline in PC sales. 27. Since over 95% of the world's smartphones currently use processors cores designed by ARM, using the ARM instruction set, ARM has become a major competitor for Intel's processor market. ARM is also planning to make attempts at setting foot into the PC and server market, with Ampere and IBM each individually designing CPUs for server-song supercomputers. 28. The only other major competitor in processor instruction sets is RISC-V, which is an open-source CPU instruction set. With the major phone and telecommunications manufacturer Huawei licensing chips based on the RISC instruction set due to US sanctions. Intel has been involved in several disputes regarding the violation of antitrust laws, which are noted below. Carbon footprint. Intel reported total CO2e emissions, direct and indirect, for the 12 months ending the 31st of December, 2020 at 2,882 kt, plus 94/+3.4% YoY. 29. Intel plans to reduce carbon emissions 10% by 2030 from a 2020 base year. 30. Intel's annual total CO2e emissions, direct and indirect, in kilotons. December 2017, December 2018, December 2019, December 2020, December 2021 2,461, 31, 2,578, 32, 2,788, 33, 2,882, 29, 3,274, 34. History. Origins. Intel was incorporated in Mountain View, California, on the 18th of July, 1968, by Gordon E. Moore, known for Moore's Law, a chemist, Robert Noyce, a physicist and co-inventor of the integrated circuit, and Arthur Rock, an investor and venture capitalist. 35, 36, 37. Moore and Noyce had left Fairchild Semiconductor and were a part of the traitorous Eight. There were originally 500,000 shares outstanding, of which Dr. Noyce bought 245,000 shares, Dr. Moore 245,000 shares, and Mr. Rock 10,000 shares, all at $1 per share. Rock offered $2,500,000 of convertible debentures to a limited group of private investors, equivalent to $21. Andy Grove, Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore in 1978 million in 2022, convertible at $5 per share. 38, 39. Just 2 years later, Intel became a public company via an initial public offering, IPO, raising $6.8 million, $23.50 per share. 40. Intel's third employee was Andy Grove, Note 1, a chemical engineer, who later ran the company through much of the 1980s and the high-growth 1990s. In deciding on a name, Moore and Noyce quickly rejected Moore Noyce. 41. Near homophone for more noise and ill-suited name for an electronics company, since noise in electronics is usually undesirable and typically associated with bad interference. Instead, they founded the company as NM Electronics, or MN Electronics, on the 18th of July, 1968. By the end of the month had changed the name to Intel, which stood for Integrated Electronics. Note 2. Since Intel was already trademarked by the hotel chain Intelco, they had to buy the rights for the name. 40, 47. Early history. At its founding, Intel was distinguished by its ability to make logic circuits using semiconductor devices. The founder's goal was the semiconductor memory market, widely predicted to replace magnetic core memory. Its first product, a quick entry into the small, high-speed memory market in 1969, was the 3101 Schottky TTL bipolar 64-bit static random access memory, SRAM, which was nearly twice as fast as earlier Schottky diode implementations by Fairchild and